This video is entitled 10 Reasons Not to Live in a Camper. You've already said the propane, the title?
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't have to tell people the title because the title's down there.
The title's down there.
That's redundant.
You know the title.
My big hitters were propane.
Poop.
The art of downsizing, laundry, Wi-Fi.
Poop.
Things get really messy really quick. Tornadoes. Poop. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Poop.
5. You just need 2 more. Do you have 2 more?
Poo.
True. That's a big deal for you, though.
It is. Poo's a big deal. We'll start with that and we'll end with that. That's pretty much how every day starts for me. I did a couple of shots earlier, and I'm sure they'll be in this video. But we have a 32-foot Keystone Cougar. It's a 5th wheel.
What year?
2003. And it has 2 slides. One we're sitting in right now. It's a super slide. Used to be a dining area. If you don't know what a slide is when the camper expands. Yeah. Google it. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you know what it is if you're looking up this lifestyle. Our kitchen is also a slide. So the refrigerator, microwave, stove, everything as far as the kitchen is concerned slides out from the side of the camper. This used to be a dining area, dinette. Most new campers will be, they'll be geared more for camping. It'll look, kind of cheap, kind of... It doesn't feel like a tiny home, but you can make it feel like that. And I will do a camper tour at some point when I get the little projects that I want done around here, but you can make it feel like home. A lot of you will think that this is so basic. I didn't know anything about this stuff a year and a half ago, and I would have loved to know really basic terms like this out of the mouths of 24-year-old people who learned from experience, putting it in very plain terms for anyone who would be interested in this and is totally unfamiliar with. Right now we're living for free. I'm working for the RV park owner. We're building an RV park. The only catch is there's no sewer line. Hookup. So if you ever plan on boondocking, like a lot of people who travel around full-time, we don't travel full-time. If that confuses some people, we just live in a camper in a fixed place because I'm going to school. So boondocking, for you people who don't know, you can Google it, or I can just tell you right quick. Boondocking is just like you have no hookups. You're running on a generator or no electricity, maybe solar power. A lot of people do that. Most RV parks, most places where you're going to park your RV are going to have sewer hookups, either a 30 amp or 50 amp electric service, and your fresh water, your showering water, sink water hookups as well. I would just say keep in mind that propane, if you want anything to be hot in your life, it requires propane. So what are you doing? Propane and propane accessories. Okay. That's a King of the Hill reference. Sydney doesn't do adult cartoons. Hot showers are not just hot showers when you live the camper life. You don't just get to jump in the shower and take a... Our showers are what, 5 minutes? 5 minutes. And even then it's not a continuous stream of water. No. So you might pride yourself on your short 7 to 10 minute shower, but that's no. Right. We're shorter. Yeah.
We take like a 5-minute shower. You rinse yourself all off, try to get yourself entirely wet. Then you lather up with soap. Then you turn the water. No. Okay. So propane makes... Basically, if you want to run out of propane really quickly, you can leave your furnace on in the winter and your hot water heater on. Okay, hot water heaters don't exist. That's stupid. I don't know what you're saying.
So, if you want to run out of propane really quickly, and it's not cheap, but it's not super expensive, if you can afford it, you can keep your water heater on, which is powered by propane. You can keep it on all the time. Just leave it on. So you could have an instantly hot shower like anytime, what you would have in a house, but we choose to leave ours off so we can conserve propane because it can get expensive. Just something to keep in mind. It's just those little things that's like, oh, do I really want to sign up for that? Because when you hear this list of 10, you're going to think, oh, that is a lot to think about. And it's things that we didn't really think about and that frustrated us along the way, but now it's just part of our life and it's fine. Yeah. Because there's a lot that goes into a house and being a homeowner that's very frustrating. So to the propane thing, there will come a time when you run out of propane and you wake up and it's 48 degrees in your house if you don't have a space heater, an electric space heater. 48 degrees inside this place, and you can't take a shower. And there's no heater. Or you take a cold, freezing cold, miserable shower. But that was like one time. So just, you want to if you're really anal about stuff like that, you just put gauges on your propane tanks. I mean, all in all, conserving propane, conserving the water, that's a huge part of tiny living, huge part of RV living as well. Your footprint, propane, water, electric, is tiny compared to the footprint you would have in a 2,000 square foot house.
So, breakers. That one was tough for me at first. The breaker box in a camper and how much it can handle on the circuit. For me, the most annoying thing is my blow dryer. If you turn it up to hot, all the breakers will flip down. And so I blow dry my hair on medium, and in case you haven't noticed, I have a lot of hair, so it takes a lot longer.
No, I turn it up to hot all the time.
You blow dry your hair like that. I'm like blow dry on hot for 10-15 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. It always flips down for me. But anyway,
never flips down for me.
It depends on what camper you buy
and have you seen this hair? Okay.
Okay, so the breaker situation has just been annoying. So like in the summer, we live in Texas, and we noticed that sometimes we would come home and it would be like 98 degrees in here because one of the breakers would flip down and our AC wouldn't be running because of that. And it was because our breaker box was overheating. So just little stupid things like that that can get really annoying when you're hot and you're expecting to walk into a nice cool camper. And if you have pets, that's dangerous. You don't want your pets left in a really hot box that's baking in the sun. So we have a cat, but she's still here. So what we had to do was have a fan blowing on our breaker box constantly, and that kept the temperature down, and it didn't happen after that.
Wi-Fi is always a concern, especially in an RV park.
Depending on how big the RV site or RV park is, there's like 80 to 120 people. And every household, if there's 5 people in an RV, their kids are on it, the parents are on it, they're streaming stuff.
Right.
That's a lot of bandwidth to be taken. I don't know the terms.
Yeah, bandwidth. So
it gets really slow.
Really slow, basically to the point where you can't use it.
Yeah.
And at most RV parks, I'm sure that's the case. So the solution is Verizon has a thing called a jetpack. I don't know if you can see it, and it's like what, 80 bucks a month plus service fees and taxes and all that regulatory stuff.
It ends up being like $100 a month, but this sounds expensive. But for us, we do a lot of online work. I'm at school online, videography. You have to have the internet. And you can take this anywhere with you. This isn't sponsored or anything, but for those of you who are looking for internet, it's 4G speed, and then it drops down to 3G, but I can watch a YouTube video at 3G. And like I said, it's not sponsored, promise. It's a small space. It gets really messy really quick. So just keep that in mind. I have to vacuum this thing every other day. And side note, with the vacuum, and a little bonus tip on this tip would be, don't buy a cheap tiny vacuum that is intended for vehicles. It's not big enough. We use a Shark vacuum. I'll post an image here, and it's been great. It's not super small, but it's not really big, and it breaks down. So you can store it underneath your camper. I use it every other day because the camper gets really messy. So imagine the dirt and the crumbs in the kitchen. Imagine all of that literally being in one room, and it's basically like your whole life is taking place in one room. So just imagine, I mean, dishes really make the place look messy. If you don't make your bed every day, really makes your camper look chunky really fast.
Yeah, because you can't escape the mess.
Right, you can't just close doors and hide things. Everything is exposed. Everything has a place. Keep in mind that laundry will be done at a laundromat, or if your RV park, if your camper has a washer dryer combo thing.
Newer campers.
Yeah, a lot of people have them, but you can't do like massive loads. So I've heard you can only wash like
a day or two worth of clothes.
Yeah.
But that's all you really need anyway.
But if you don't have that, and if you don't have the option to have, we would use family members or friends nearby and take our laundry over there, which that becomes a hassle because if you forget something important that you wanted to wear, good luck. And then quarters. Always have quarters because you're going to be using pay laundry machines. This is a dumb tip for me, but we live in the South, in the Great Plains, so tornadoes happen.
tornadoes are not a problem.
Watch the weather.
Plus,
Be
most
safe.
people, you know that if you're living in something that only weighs 10,000 pounds and it's on 2 sets of wheels, it's probably not going to be a safe place in a tornado.
I'm just saying, he doesn't care though. He doesn't drive me to places.
Look.
I drive myself to places
Yeah.
because he doesn't care. He's the kind of person who would just take a picture of it.
You just watch
and
the
die.
storm, watch the weather. I'll say what I want to say.
Oh gosh, did y'all hear that sass?
This is my video.
Look at him.
This is going to make it. And what I really wanted to say isn't. I feel like I'm doing a lot of the talking, but, you know, welcome to marriage. We've just talked a lot about what you have to look out for if you're thinking about doing it. Because it's a big move, especially if you're moving from a big house and 2 cars, and if you have kids or if you have big pets, big dogs, small horses, large pigs, you know, you name it, goats. You know, people have weird animals, chickens, you know, what have you. You're moving into a camper, that's a big move. From a big house and a bunch of cars, bunch of kids, bunch of stuff.
Garage space, goodbye garages.
I mean, when we lived in our house, we had 2 junk rooms, people. Right. Most people have a junk drawer in their kitchen. We had junk rooms. Because we didn't have kids, we only have us and the cat. So, you know, it's just easy to shut the door and hide all the junk in that room. Or that room and another room.
Right, and I would say that's a positive to camper living, is that you don't really have the option to acquire a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
You would literally have to be go to a storage unit to be a hoarder.
Yeah.
It just can't happen in a camper.
Yeah.
Once you take, I mean, we just bought some stuff from Amazon and we have 3 cardboard boxes in this camper right now, and I feel crowded because it's like, this wasn't here yesterday and it's too much right now. And we have a lot of camera equipment too, and that gets kind of like, oh, where do we put all this stuff? I think it's a positive, because any country that has a lot of affluence, which is the Western world,
any affluent country,
we just have the tendency to acquire a bunch of material things, and we found ourselves going down that track. We bought vehicles that we shouldn't have bought, and we've looked for happiness in items, and it's just not there. So living in a camper really reminds you of that. It's like, well, people want to give you things, or people ask you what you want for Christmas or birthday, and it's like, well, I really don't need anything. I literally don't have room for it. So a lot of the cutesy things that I'm tempted to buy at like TJ Maxx, and I know a lot of you girls will relate, like extra mugs or just knickknacks that are cute. I mean, there's no place for it. Get the 10 things that you want, and then that's it. You really have, or you just have to trade it out and cycle it out. You can't keep all of these things that collect dust.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk endlessly about the camper, the home to camper transition.
It becomes a part of who you are.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's a big move. So, you know, just go into it with
open eyes.
Yeah.
Don't just think it's a romantic idea to travel around, because that's a whole nother thing. People who travel full time, you've got to have a great truck, and we have an okay truck, but not one that could travel the country. So there's a lot of expense to this side of that side of things, which we can't talk about that because we don't know it. But if you do want to live in your city without having to pay ridiculous apartment fees and be on a lease for a long time, and be around a bunch of noisy people who stomp upstairs, and if you don't want to deal with stuff like that, if you don't want to jump into a mortgage, then I think this is a great alternative for people who are looking for another option.
Really, what we want to end on is the freedom aspect of RV life. And if the cat would stop running around like a crazy person.
This is like her crazy time of the day. It's 8:03 p.m. on May the 4th, which I know that's a big Star Wars joke.
May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
It makes it sound like you have a speaking impediment.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Yeah, we just want to end on the lighter note, which is freedom. Financial freedom, freedom to live anywhere on God's green earth that you so choose in any given day. If you wanted to move every single day and you had the truck or a motor coach to go down the road, you could live in a different city every day. You could park at a different Walmart every day. We don't choose to do that, but you could. And there's just so much freedom.
Just something about having a mindset like that. It really, instead of having roots down with a mortgage and being a slave to your job, he's been able to get out of a job that really was weighing on him because we chose this lifestyle. He wasn't chained to this job and like a slave to it. He was able to transition to the next thing, and guess what? Where we are right now feels very temporary, and we'll just transition on to the next thing. And it doesn't take selling a house and waiting for buyers and realtors, and it's just simply you hook your truck up and you get to drive away. And that's a really awesome feeling. It's freedom. And this lifestyle doesn't work for everybody, but for those of you who were curious about it, I did want to share. And I know we have a lot more to say because this video, we've been filming for 40 minutes now, and I'm gonna have to cut it down a lot. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I would be happy to answer them.
What do you want? What do you want to hear from us?
Yeah, we can do a camper Q&A if you want. It doesn't really matter to me. Or I can just simply answer your questions in the comments.
We can do a shirtless session with Josh.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Why?
I'm glad to meet you guys. Glad to would love to hear from you. It's good to be on the channel, and thanks for having me, dear.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Nice to meet you all.
Oh.
Leave the comments. Comment everything that you ever wanted to comment on a YouTube video. And subscribe.
You don't have to subscribe. We don't force people to do that on this channel.
Yes, we do. If you don't have anything better to do, click the mother subscribe button. Subscribe. Right over my head.
This was good.
Okay.
Good job, babe.
Sayonara. Peace. Out.
Bye. See you in the next video.
Yep. I won't be here.
Yes, you will.
I know.
No, you will be here sometime.